it feels like power and money are the craziest drugs in the world. And everywhere it feels like people are taking your aspirations and your dreams and using them to scam you. Look, in the crypto space, this is scam land. Yeah, you got good people, right? There's some people that are doing some great things and some great projects. But then there's a lot of people that just come to do some money grab and some rug pulls. Same in the NFT space. And when anything is at its infancy, and everybody's excited about it, like we were about the NFT space like 3 years ago, there was a lot of interesting stuff going on. But then once the headlines started going about such and such making X amount of money, etc., then you got scammers everywhere. Like, if you type certain hashtags on Twitter that have to do with crypto, you get bombarded with spams and scams on Twitter. Fake accounts, fake nice girls trying to talk to you. You know, there's a Russian or an Indian, or a Czech guy, or maybe a guy from Ivory Coast that are just there pretending to be that blonde girl, and the goal is to scam you. And I mean, I'm seasoned, so when I'm on the internet, and listen, when I'm anywhere, I'm always on the lookout for who's trying to scam me. But I imagine the people who are not internet savvy like me, who can just get scammed easily. Promises, stuff. Put your money here. We're gonna get them. Puff. Hey, listen. If you buy this thing for 50, you could receive 100. It's a special promotion. You put your 50, and then nothing happens. Like, it's crazy because thanks to the internet, listen, scammers always existed and always will exist. But thanks to the internet, people can scam at factory level. People can scam like at a scale, huge scale. And listen, politicians are using the aspirations of the people, and they arrive in power by doing and doing the will of the people when they are in the opposition. And once they are in power a few years, they just do exactly what the person that they took the power from did. They just turned the same way, because power and fame and the money corrupt people. And you don't need millions. Listen, I've seen people get corrupted just by making 500 a week and having sex with groupies. Just change them. So imagine now if you are, look at the president of Senegal. 2 terms. And now he wants to invent a third one. When he got in power, because the one before him wanted to do a third term as well, and starting to try to silence anybody who's a opponent politically, the opposition. Ivory Coast, we got a guy serving a third term when it's not part of the Constitution. It's And it is so interesting where the same countries like France, who will condemn, point fingers at some people, in those ones, because it's, their little garden, they don't say nothing. And to me, all this is the same as scamming. This is scamming the aspirations of the people who put you in power. And listen, I don't doubt the sincerity of the people when they got in power 8 years ago on their first term. I don't doubt their sincerity. They believe that they're here to change something and they want to do things right. But then, power, money, leading your people. And when 8 years go, you're like, already? And listen, if you made enough money or you changed enough things, it's time to let the next one do their thing. And if you work good, maybe you have somebody that you prepare to take your place. But no, because power corrupts, you don't prepare somebody to come after you, because now you want to stay here. And you look at your wife and you're like, hey, next year we're going. And she's like, no, I don't want to. I like having this life. And you're like, yeah, but I mean, that was just for 8 years. What? You run the country? No. Then you call France and they're like, it's better if you stay stability with it. Yay. And then you become a scammer. And I don't doubt, again, that most people, before they know what power does, they probably are sincere. I mean, some people are not, but a lot of them are. But then, money, power, respect. And why, to me, I put them in the scammer category, it's because of the aspiration of the people. Look at the relationship gurus. All scammers. All of them. Blue pill, red pill, X, Y, Z. All scammers. They're here pretending to you. So look at this. Men and women, right? You have all these people explaining to you how to be a good husband or how to be a good wife. And they're all single. How do you know so much about relationships and how to be a good wife or how to be a good husband if you're single? They're all over YouTube. They're all there explaining that, yeah, a good wife has to get married at 22 and they are 26 or 27 and they're not married. And they're criticizing other people. And you're like, yo, what's wrong? What's going on here? You got guys calling people, oh, you a 6, you average, you this, you that, blah, blah, blah. Relationship guru, relationship advices. They're not married. They divorced 2 times. But the aspirations of the people, because of the aspirations of the people, You can tell them, hey, I can give you some good advice. And if you click in the link below, there's my course that costs $200, or there's my one-on-one conversation. You can speak to me 1 hour, and I will teach you how to be elegant and how to get a good wife. It's $299. Listen, if you get 1,000 people paying $299, that's a lot of money. How much? That's that's 300K. And I see them everywhere. You remember Derek? What was his name? That guy was with his wife, being a relationship guru, being like, and in reality, he was fucking everything that moves, pretending to be married, pretending to be a church guy, and he was having his wife just be there, watch them, and film them so she can learn how to be sexually good. These are your gurus. All scammers. Scammers. There's this one that I see too, giving all the advices about, she lives in LA or something, giving a bunch of advice to girls and to guys, how to do this, how to do that. And she's single. What's wrong with these people? What's wrong with all this? Listen, scammers everywhere, scammers. You're not gonna give me relationships about marriage if you're not married. It doesn't make sense. Wait, let me turn on the AC. It makes 0 sense. How you gonna be here giving me all these relationships advice when you're not even in a relationship? Listen, if I need advice about weddings, right? About how to handle my marriage with my wife. In August I'll be married 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. I mean, I have a little bit of experience about this. I've been with my wife since 2014. So next year is going to be 10 years. I can have a little bit of, you can ask me advice about relationships. A long ass relationship in terms of time. You can ask me advice about long distance relationship because I did that for 3 years. You can ask me advice about living with somebody because in my life, I lived with 3 different women. And you can ask me advice about fatherhood because I got 2 kids. If I want to ask advice about marriage, about how to make a marriage work on a long term, I'd rather ask my parents. They have been together through thick and thin for 40 years. Maybe more, 40 something. So yeah, they know how you make it work because they've been through the ups and downs, the etc. They lived in different countries together. They flew away from wars together, lost everything together, rebuilt everything together, were rich, became poor, back to being rich again. So you can ask these people advice on how do you stick together, right? But these people on YouTube, what the hell they're talking about? They have no clue what they're talking about. And they here giving advice to a bunch of people who are all out there. You see them in the comments yelling about such and such. And I'm like, what happened? What happened with this society? Like, how, because somebody is popular, all of a sudden, whatever they say becomes gospel? What happened? And because people are fans of you on the gram, on TikTok, all of a sudden, whatever you say becomes like the manual. Scammers. All scammers. All these people are scammers. Yo, these people make me laugh so much, I remember, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. I used to watch his stuff. But even him, there was entertaining in the beginning, but I was like, that guy is rude. There's some truth that he's saying, but it was a little rude. But okay, I was watching. And then at a point I was like, wait a minute, is this guy married? I was like, yo, you're not married? Come on. And you got all these people giving advice to people for views. Listen, let me go back to the first ones. Crypto. You got a bunch of crypto YouTube channels, right? Such and such gonna pump. Look at like all of these people. They're here for the views. Some good channel will give you advice about your crypto, seriously, will give you. But a lot of them, they're here for the views. You come, you look at their videos, you listen to them every day. They post video all the time, commenting Twitter posts and stuff. And in reality, they make money from the views. From all these people who are like, and look at them when they're live. Can you look at Pepe coin? Do you think it's gonna go up? And you're like, do your own research, motherfucker. Learn about it. No, they want to follow their YouTube guru, and then the YouTube guru tell them, it's gonna pump, and they get excited, and then it doesn't pump, and they get angry, and guru makes money from all the YouTube views, and take that money and put it in crypto or somewhere else. Who knows? Scammers. And of course, they always have a course. Of course. Yo. That's a good business, yo. Yo. You never know what someone does when they taste the sweetness of power. The hardest drug it is. When someone doesn't have the power, he says sweet words. But soon as he has the power, listen, soon as you have the power, you realize that it's not as simple as you said and you thought. Most people sing a different song once they taste power, particularly more power than they ever thought possible. Hey, listen, I'm telling you, that is true. And you have no right to criticize those who have power. Listen, it's complicated though. Urban Sweet Spot, what up? It is weak people who give strength to powerful people. Yes and no. It's more complicated than that. Sometimes there's a lot of forces at hand that want to put people in control. But once people are in power, sometimes you can't control them anymore. Because, sometimes they're like, okay, let's put this person that know nothing, and we'll control them. And that person that's like, yeah, you control me. But once they become powerful, they're like, yo, who are you to try to control me? You're like, listen, you don't know what you're talking about. Hey, I'm the president of this country. Hey. Scammers. There's a guru in Kenya who started out as a driver and became a pastor. He's in organ donation network. Oh, Lord. Listen. I forgot those scammers. Oh, thanks for reminding me of the scammers of religion. All religions. Like, I would say religion is, 10% of good people and 90% of scammers. Listen, in Congo, you have so many people, they pray. And you have these pastors, they got like 3-4 wives. They do kids with the people from the congregation. They sell you snake oil. Listen, all this is power. All this is power. I am the voice of God. Word. How? Like, listen, some people, I believe them when they say that. But there's a lot of them, look at them, I'm like, wait a minute, listen. We had a guy, he used to work, he was our, listen, I don't know how you say it in English, lavandier. He was used to clean our, listen, when we grew up in Paris, we had 3 people living in under the house with us. They had 3 studios under the house, and they would take care of us when the parents were away. We had a driver, and we had a gouvernante, and then we had this guy who was more taking care of everything, washing everything, the clothes of everybody, cleaning the house, etc. So we had all these 3 people, and most of the time where the parents were away, we had me, my sister, my brother. I think it was just the 3 of us. No, and a 4th one. And it would be us most of the time. My parents were in Congo with the rest of my little brother, who was a baby at that time, and my 3 sisters. All them were in Congo, and us, we were in France. And that guy one day became a pastor. And I was like, but how? He just became a pastor. And yeah, found 10 people that he taught. He explained life. And then all of a sudden, 10 people became 100, and they start giving him money. And there you go. And I was like, yo, I would love to see him again. I would love to see him again. Like, listen, we grew up with these people, but like anybody can just become a pastor. How crazy is that? Scammers, more scammers. Master Electronic, what up? If the person looks good, they'll get a follow. That's true. In Zimbabwe, pastors are some of the biggest, wealthiest scammers we got. They know what our desperation to get out of poverty can get them. Exactly. Scammers. And they make money from paid courses too. True. We support the K coin. Yo. It's sad because they take advantage of people who have faith in them. It's really a violation. It is true. But that's exactly what scamming is. That's exactly what scamming is. You look for people who are emotionally weak and you use that to pretend to them that you have the solution, and then you suck their money for as long as possible. You know how when I had a conversation with somebody that is a psychologist, and whenever they meet people who are bipolar, for them it's like cha-ching, because they know they're gonna have you in that seat talking for years. So that's money coming in, and they never have a solution for you because you have chemical imbalance. They're not fixing that. They just, we're gonna do breathing exercise XYZ. Scammers. Listen, there's a pastor in Congo. He sells some oil that you can use for everything. Holy water, anointed candles, seminars, find your husband. Listen, exactly. And they charge hundreds of thousands of US dollars to the attendants. Exactly. Religious scammers are wild. We have one who's a pastor, a businessman, a gold broker, a musician, but not gospel, and an actor. Yo. That same guy is also an advisor to the president. Listen, the worst thing you can have is a president that is too much into those things and can just have scammer pastors that are also political advisors. That's where you're like, because anybody that can control the pastor controls the president. And that's not serious. Listen, I know some people who have the ear of presidents, and they are serious people. I know some others, they're not. Scammers. Des marmailleurs. That's for sure. He's covering all angles, everything. He's taking everything. It's not like, he's like market share, synergies. I mean, he actually follows Club Shada. It's like synergies, music, talking, podcast, XYZ. So yeah, I could do that. And listen to those ones. Listen, America is so full of emotional people. I mean, the world is, but America has become a place so full of emotional people that whenever there's something dramatic that happens, and any minority gets murdered or anything horrible that happens, and people get victimized, you have real activists who really are fighting for the causes, and then you have scammers. And listen, some people are here to scam from the beginning, and whenever the occasion arrives, they're here to seize the money. But I believe that some others, in the beginning, they're really sincere. They want to make a change. And listen, in the case of BLM, I don't know. Listen, but when George Floyd got murdered, and it created an outcry around the world, I believe that the people who started the movement were really, I don't know them, but I believe they were honestly wanting to change something. And then the BLM movement started. But then there was like a emotional, social contagion of especially white people in America hating themselves and wanting to to repair the world, and started donating, and you had it was beautiful to see, like Big Avenue painted, Black Lives Matters, etc. That was beautiful to see. But then the money of the donations started pouring in, and these people got $90 million in donation. And listen, like anybody, even if in the beginning your mission statement was 90 million, is a lot of power, it's a lot of money, being interviewed everywhere. If you're not ready, if you've been an advocate, right, working on activism and all these things for 30 years, and all of a sudden all this money come in, you know everything you need to do, and all the things you can build, you know. But if just arrive, you coin a term, you arrive, blah, 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 all of a sudden, all this money and all these worldwide, international it's possible that this can corrupt you, even if you were doing this before. Because listen, I don't believe that politicians are corrupted. All of them. I don't believe it. I just believe that power and money can corrupt you. Because a lot of activists, they are really doing the work. Sometimes they are doing the work for 20 years, 30 years. They've been doing it. And they've been, having small donation, 10,000 here, 20,000 here, raising, putting to school, etc., etc. But 90 million is a different type of money. And trust me, it can corrupt people. And that's why all these people are in trouble now. Like, apparently the 60 million of that money disappeared. And there's a lot of money that went to brothers, sister building houses, etc., etc. I don't want to go into detail because I'm not, but people are starting to ask themselves, even Essence Magazine is starting to ask, like, was it a scam? I don't believe so. But a lot of people are not able to receive all that money and stay on course. It doesn't mean a whole movement is to blame. Hell no, of course not. It just means that all of us need checks and balance. Listen, I'm not a star to my kids, to my wife, to my friends around me. They speak to me. The people that have been walking with me for the last 30 years, they see me on my trajectory. They see me as brothers and sisters. And if they have to tell me something, they will tell me something. If they have to give me an advice, they will give me an advice. If they have to tell me, I don't agree with you here, they will tell me I don't agree with you here. And I need those people around me. Because if tomorrow I make 20 million, this is going to be the moment where I mean, and it's different. I grew up in money, so I'm not impressed by money. But listen, there's money and there's money. When you have 20 million in your bank account, it's not the same thing as having 1 million or listen, even 100K. I remember having 300K in my bank account, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I just invested a little bit in my music, in my stuff, etc. But 300K is a lot of money, but that's not 3 million. And 3 million is a lot of money, but that's not 30 million. If you got like 30 million, you better make sure that the people you have around you are the right people who can keep you in check and prevent your head from exploding, prevent you from doing all the crazy things that people can do. And I don't see myself as somebody that can be victimized by money, because listen, I have an economic background. I have my dad was powerful. My mother is powerful. I grew up in money, so I'm not impressed by. I know the things I can do with money. I have plans of things that I can do with money. But still, most people that I know that got crazy and just lost their head because of fame, you should hear them talk before they got famous. You should hear them talk how humble they were. Oh, me, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be like this. Oh, I'm not. And listen, you don't need, as I say it all the time, it's not a question of how much money. Just 1,000 every week, guaranteed from shows. 1,000 every week. Every show you get 1,000, and you can choose any girl in the club and take her to the hotel. 2 of them if you want. Twice a weekend. Friday we go to one city, you take 1,000, you can take any girl. Saturday we go to one city, you take 1,000, you can take any girl you want. And I've seen people shift from I want to make my music, I want to live from my career. I don't care about being famous. What I want is really my career. And I see them turn into, who's the weekend? Ooh. I heard the chicks in Bordeaux are, or I heard the chicks in Miami, or I heard the chicks in Mozambique are. And you're like, but did you come to sing or did you come for the chicks? Because I came to sing. I came to build something. And this is one step on my building. But I've seen a lot of people, men and women, lose themselves in fame and the little bit of money that was in the Zouk industry or the Kizomba and Kompa industry. I've seen a lot of them, 90% of them, they get lost in fame, existing. Like, because you don't realize what it does to you when you come on a stage and you have 1,000 people, 5,000 people, 20,000 people, 100,000 people yelling, screaming, crying, yelling your name. You don't know what it does until you on stage and it happens. You don't know what it does when people cry when they see you, men and women. You don't know what it does until it happens to you. And only then you will know if you were ready. Before that, it's just talking. All of us are, if I was a president, I would do this. You don't know what are the pressures. You don't know what the FBI, the CIA is telling you. You don't know what the different president, the pressure that they're telling you. You don't know when somebody's going to come and say, hey, if you don't sign those contracts, those rebels there, we're gonna give them some weapons, and we'll see when they raid your capital. And you're like, what? It's a sovereign country. Yeah, yeah. Of course, you don't know until you're there. And I've been there. I've been in all these places that I'm talking about: political, music, business, and trust me, the things that I know happen. Not everybody is fit for that. Not everybody is ready to go through all these things and go out of that being the same person. Most people, they don't, because it's cutthroat. And listen, a lot of these people, 90 million, all of a sudden, they start taking liberties because, the aspirations of the people is what make the scammers. It's the aspirations of the people. And look what's going on right now around the world. We got Ukrainian weapons in Congo, in South America. Like, all these weapons, they arrive in Ukraine. The Ukrainian themselves sell them. Some of them, not all of them, of course, but that's what's happening. The people are so emotional that they don't want to think about all these things. They don't want to think about the possibilities of, maybe nobody's good in this conflict, and it's more complicated than that. No, because people are emotional and they want to pour the money. And once you pour too much money, the scammers, they're like, money? Let's go. The scammers, they're everywhere. Trust me, they're everywhere.